Hello everyone, how are you all? Welcome to Shalu Institute of Learning. Me Sushila Kumari Singh. I am B.Ed Science graduate and I did MSc in Geography. I am teaching Biology and Chemistry of 9th and 10th. Today we are going to start, yesterday we did in previous class, we had started matter in our surrounding. In that we did what is meaning of matter, what does matter means, what is the characteristic of matter. In that we did that matter is made up of small particles and these particles are very small in size, very small in size. Then next one was that the particles have space between them. Okay. Then the particles of matter continuously keeps moving without stopping. They keep moving always. And next one was that the particles attracts each other. The particles of the matter attract each other. Okay. In that we did diffusion. What is diffusion? We did many activities regarding these topics, and today we are going to start the physical nature of matter, or you can say the physical classification of matter. Okay. So when we talk about physical classification, that means how does it look? Matter can exist in how many states? So it is divided, the matter is classified into 5 states. Okay. And what are those 5 states? That is solid, liquid, gas. See, these 3, solid, liquid and gas, we have been hearing about it, or we are very familiar with this, solid, liquid and gas. That is the 3 states of matter. Okay. But there are 2 more states of matter, and that is plasma, and next one is both instant condensate. Okay. So today now we'll be doing these 3 common, solid, liquid and gas, the characteristic of these 3, solid, liquid and gas, and these 2 we'll discuss later at the end of the lesson. Okay. Now see, when we say solid, so this pen, when you are seeing it, it is solid. When you see water, what is water? Water is liquid, oxygen, hydrogen, all these are gas. Okay. So how does they exist in these states? There must be some characteristic of these solid, liquid and gas. So let's discuss about that. So now we are going to start. Now see, when we talk about solid, then solid, when you are seeing this, okay, so from the outside only you can see that this is very hard, okay, it has a shape, it has a size, okay. So solid has a shape and size. When you see the particles of it, so let's draw the particles. Suppose when we see the arrangement of the particles, now see, this is the arrangement of the particles of solid. This is one particle, other particle, third one, fourth one. This way many particles combine together to form solid. Okay. So you can see here that they are very closely packed to each other, and it has a shape and it has a size, or you can say volume. So the first characteristic, because when you are seeing this pen, By seeing this, you can say that it has a shape and size or volume, you can say. Okay. Now see, so the first characteristic is it has shape, size or volume. Okay. Now next one we can see that what does it has? It has a boundary. Okay. This one is boundary. So we can say that the solid particles has boundary. It has boundary. Okay. Now see, next one is, can you compress it? Can you compress it? When you touch this, what do you feel? When we touch this one, we feel it is hard. So we call it rigid. Okay, when you are touching it, you are feeling it hard. So what is that hardness means? They are rigid. So we can say solid, they are rigid. Okay. Next one, next characteristic of this. When you press this one, this pen, if you are pressing it, can you compress this? Can you? We cannot compress it. Okay. Why we cannot compress this? There must be some reason behind it. Okay. Because, so we can say that we cannot compress. Solid cannot be compressed. Write it this way. Or you can write simply uncompressible. Okay. Now see why this cannot be compressed. There must be some reason behind it. Because see, here you are seeing, so they are very closely packed. There is no space between the two molecules. Okay. There is no space between two molecules. So they cannot be compressed. So what is the reason they are uncompressible? They cannot be compressed because there is no intercellular space between them. Okay. No intercellular space between them. Okay. Now see, another thing we can see. Can you see this sponge or foam? When we are pressing it, see, it is being pressed. You can compress this easily. It is changing its shape. But this is solid. It is exceptional, you can say. Why this happens? Because the particles of this sponge, there is a gap between the particles of the sponge. Is it clear? So when we are pressing it, that particles comes together. And again when we are leaving, again it comes to its original position. Is it clear? So this, though this sponge is also solid, but exceptional that the particles are far away. There is a space between, little bit space between particles of this sponge, and that is filled with the air. When you press it, the air goes out and the particles comes together. When again you are leaving it, again it gains the air and again it comes to original position. Okay. Now see, so we can say that no intercellular space between them. Now next another thing, that force of, already we have studied that the particles have the force of attraction. So this force of attraction in different substances are different. Now here see, when you are seeing it, how they are very closely packed with each other. Okay, so why they are closely packed with each other? Because the force of attraction between them is very strong. The force of attraction between the particles of solids is very strong. Okay, so force of attraction between the particles are very strong. So they are very closely packed. Is it clear? Now see, the force of attraction now see what happens, the force of attraction between the particles are very strong. See, same thing happens with you also. In class, you have a friend, very close friend. So, always whenever you go anywhere, you want your friend to be together. Why? Because the force of attraction between both of you are strong. Okay? So, same thing here happens. Because the force of attraction between the particles are very strong, so they are always together and closely packed. Now next one we'll see liquid. These are the characteristics of solid. Now next we'll see liquid. Now see here liquid. Let's draw the particles of liquid. Now see, can you see the particles of liquid? See the particles of solid and see the particles of liquid. Now here you are seeing this is a particle of liquid. Here by seeing this, you can say that it has no shape, but it has a volume. Okay, the liquid has no shape, but it has a volume. So we can say no shape but has volume. Why? Because now see what happens when you keep this in any container. Suppose you are keeping it in a long container, it takes the shape of that container. If you are keeping in a broad container, it takes the shape of that broad container. Okay, so it has no shape is there, but it has a volume. There is no boundary for it. There is no boundary. Suppose water you are seeing. Can you say where is the boundary of water? Here in this pen you can say this is the boundary of pen. In solid you can say. Suppose I am taking this phone, I can say that there is a boundary. Okay, but here you cannot say that where is the boundary over here. On water, when you see water, you cannot say there is a boundary. So no boundary. Now third one, solid is rigid. But suppose you drop oil or water on floor, then what will happen? Have you seen that when you drop water or oil on floor, what happens? The water starts moving. Is it clear? The water starts flowing. So we can say that it is fluidity. What is it? Fluidity. Now see, the water, because here you can see this one. Suppose there is a space between this, little bit space is there. So you can compress it little bit. Okay. Very little compression can be done here. Is it clear? So compressibility, fourth one, less let compressibility, here what we are saying, less compressibility is there. Why this happens? Why less compressibility is there? Because there is little bit, a small, less interspace is present here between the particles. Okay. So what will we say? Fifth one, less intercellular space between particles. Okay. Very less intercellular, sorry, not cellular, I am sorry, it is not cellular, it is molecular. It is molecular, not cellular. Cellular comes in cell. Okay. It is molecular space. So there is less intermolecular space between the particles. So they can be compressed little bit. Okay. So less compressibility is there. Now what about the force of attraction? Now see, they are not very far away from each other. They are close to each other, but they are not compact, or they are not very close to each other. Okay. So because see, there is a space, little bit space between them. So the force of attraction between them is weak. What is the force of attraction? It is weak. So fifth point, force of attraction between particles are weak. Okay. So force of attraction between particles are weak. Is it clear? Hope you understood this. What is the characteristic of solid liquid? Now next is gas. Now gas, when we talk about, let me rub this now. Now see, gas, now see, this is arrangement of gas. Okay, gas particles. Now by seeing this, you can see that one particle is here, another one is here, another one is here, one is here. So the gap between them is very large. So space between them is very large. Is it clear? Now, so in this we can say, first one is no shape, no volume. What happens? It does not have any boundary. Can you see air? Air keeps moving. Okay? So it has no volume and no boundary. Now see, because it keeps moving here and there randomly, so this is also fluidity. It also flows here and there. So fluidity is there in this also. Fluidity is there. Now see what happens, that there is a large intercellular space between them. You can see this large intercellular space is there present in between the particles of gases. So they can be easily, or you can say highly compressed. Okay, because see what happens, when you compress this one, all the particles comes together. Okay, when you compress, what will happen? All the particles will come together and it will occupy very little space. Is it clear? So, fourth one, highly compressible. They are highly compressible gas. Now, what about the fifth one? The space between the particles. What happens? The space between the particles when we talk about. Large space, or you can say the large intermolecular space present. Okay. Now next one is the force of attraction. Force of attraction. When we talk about force of attraction, now see here you can see they are so far away from each other. That means the force of attraction is not present. They are negligible. Okay, the force of attraction is negligible. So, due to which they are far away from each other. They does not come together. They keep moving here and there. Everywhere they keep moving. Is it clear? So, here we can say force of attraction is negligible. Now force of attraction is negligible. Now see, this is the characteristic of gas. No shape, no volume, no boundary. It keeps flowing, so fluidity is there. Then next one is, it is very highly compressible because there is an intermolecular space between the particles, so it can be compressed. Okay. Then next one is the force of attraction between the particles of gases are negligible. That means there is no force of attraction between the particles of the gases. Hope you understood this. Okay. Now next comes, we finish this 3 things: solid, liquid and gas characteristic, plasma and Bose-Einstein condensate will be doing in last. change of state of matter. When we talk about the change of state of matter, that means can we change the states of matter, that means from solid to liquid, liquid to gas. Can we do this? Can we change the state? This we'll discuss now. Now see, change of state of matter. When we talk about, yes, we can change the state by, one is by changing temperature. Next one is by changing pressure. When we bring in change in temperature and change in pressure, then we can change their one state to another state. Is it clear? Now see, what happens in this? Suppose here is solid, liquid, gas. This we see in our house. You must have seen. Have you seen ice? Everyone sees ice. Everyone take ice. Take it. Okay. Now see, ice changes to water and water changes to vapor. Okay. Now what happens? That ice is a solid, water is liquid and vapor is gas. Now suppose we are taking ice. How does we get ice? When we cool down water, then we get ice. Ice is in solid form. Suppose we can do this one experiment. See, take ice in one container and put one thermometer over here. Okay, this is ice cube. This is burner. Now see what happens. Suppose you are taking ice here. Take out from refrigerator, remove ice and keep in this container and place this way how I have set up this apparatus. Put one thermometer here to note the temperature. Then what will be the temperature at that time? The temperature will be 0 degrees Celsius. What will be the temperature? 0 degrees Celsius. Because at 0 degrees Celsius, fusion takes place. That means the water changes into ice. And at the 0 degrees Celsius only the water changes into water also. Okay. Now see what happens here. You started giving heat to it. And slowly you will see that this water, this ice is getting melted, is getting converted into liquid. When you are increasing the temperatures, providing with the temperature, this keeps on increasing. Okay, and that keeps on liquefied. That means that keeps on changing into liquid. Now what happens? That when you are giving temperature, this will convert into liquid, provide more heat, give more heat. then what will happen? This will vaporize. That is, this will change into vapor. First this ice will change into liquid, then again you are giving more heat, then it will change into vapor, that is gas. Okay. So as you keep on giving heat, they will keep on changing their state from solid to liquid, liquid to gas. Again remove the heat. So again they will convert, reverse. If vapor, from the vapor you are removing the heat, they will convert into liquid. Again you are cooling it more, that means removing temperature. This liquid will convert into solid. Okay. So by providing, by giving temperature, we are changing the states of matter from solid to liquid, liquid to gas, or by removing the temperature, cooling it, it is changing into from gas to liquid, liquid to solid. Okay. Now see here, one thing you have to note, that what happens here. When we see this ice, when you are providing it with the temperature, increasing the temperature, you are giving it temperature, but still the temperature remains 0 degree unless and until the total ice is melted. Okay. Till that time, temperature remains 0 degree until total ice cube is melted into liquid. Is it clear? Then where does this, why the temperature is not increasing? Where does this energy go? This ice which you are, this temperature which you are giving to it, where it is going? So it is hidden inside. We can say that it is hidden inside this ice cube. Hidden in means what? In normal talk we say that it is hidden. Okay. But actually what is happening here, that we are providing it heat, and that heat is taken to break the molecules or the particles of the ice. Is it clear? That heat is used to break the molecules of ice. How it was converted into ice? It was converted from liquid. So when it became ice, the particles of this liquid came together and they were closely packed. Okay. So to convert into liquid again, they have to break that force of attraction. Is it clear? So this heat is being used for that. So where does this heat goes? The heat is used to break the particles of ice. Okay. When this all ice cube converts into water, converts into liquid, then you will see the temperature had started rising up. Is it clear? So this heat which they are using to break the particles of the ice cube, this is called the latent heat of fusion. What is this called? Latent heat of fusion. This is latent heat of fusion. Okay. Now this latent heat of fusion means what? What is the definition of this latent heat of fusion? That means now see, the definition of this latent heat of fusion is the amount required to convert 1 kg of solid to liquid. Okay, the amount of heat, that is energy required to convert 1 kg of solid to liquid, that is called the latent heat of fusion. Is it clear? That means it is taking the amount which is used to convert the total 1 kg of ice into liquid. That heat is called, or that energy is called, the latent heat of fusion. Is it clear? So by giving temperature, what can happen? We can convert the state. So now you see, by supplying energy or heat, you can say we are converting this solid into liquid. That means solid is converted into liquid, that ice is converted into water. So we are changing the state. Okay. Now next one, let's do one more thing. And this, now see, this is called melting point. What do we mean by melting point? That means the temperature at which this solid change into liquid at normal or atmospheric pressure. What is melting point? Melting point means changing of solid to liquid at atmospheric pressure. I think it is not clear. Okay. Now see, the melting point. What is melting point? The changing of solid to, here you can add this. The temperature, or at the temperature let me write again this. The temperature at which solid changes to liquid at atmospheric pressure is called melting point. Okay. That means when the temperature at which this ice started melting, ice melts into liquid, that is water, that temperature is called melting point. Okay. So the melting point of water, what is the temperature? Melting point of water, it is 0 degrees Celsius. Okay. The melting point of water is 0 degree Celsius, at 0 degree Celsius they start melting. Now see, this was, and the energy which was taken to break, here the energy which was taken to break the particles of this ice is called latent heat of fusion. What is that? Latent heat of fusion. Is it clear? Now we discuss the latent heat of fusion. So you know what is the definition of latent heat of fusion? Definition is, hope you must have noted, I had written there. Is it clear? Now come to next. Next comes boiling point. Okay. Next is boiling point. Now when we talk about boiling point, let's take here 1 kg of water. Again we are taking in a beaker 1 kg of water. This is burner, this is water, this is container, this is thermometer. See, the boiling point of water is 100 degrees Celsius. 100 degrees Celsius means, what do you mean by 100 degrees Celsius boiling point? That means at the temperature 100 degrees Celsius, this water starts converting into vapor. Okay? At 100 degrees Celsius, water starts converting into vapor. Now see what happens here. When we are taking 1 kg of water here, we started boiling it. Okay. So now to convert into vapor, again the particles of the vapors, gases are very far, but the particles of water is nearby. They are close to each other. They are not completely close, but they are closed. Okay. So they are held together. So this you can see. So what happens, that to break the force of attraction between the particles, when we are applying here heat, the temperature will not go beyond 100 degrees Celsius and they will not convert into water vapor. Is it clear? So this heat taken to convert the water into vapor is called latent heat of vaporization. Is it clear? What is it called? Latent heat of vaporization. So what is latent heat of vaporization? I think I can rub this now. Let's see the definition of boiling point. What is the temperature of boiling point of water? That is 100 degrees Celsius. That means the temperature at which liquid changes to vapor, that is gas, at atmospheric pressure is called boiling point. Okay, the temperature at which the liquid changes to vapor gas at atmospheric pressure, that temperature is called boiling point of that particular substance. Is it clear? Different substance has a different boiling point. Different substance has a different melting point. Okay. Now see here what happens. Now latent heat of vaporization. Now what is latent heat of vaporization? I already we discussed that 1 kg of water we had taken here, we had supplied energy to it, that means heat to it, and when it converts to vapor, that amount of heat required to convert the liquid to vapor is called latent heat of vaporization. Is it clear? The amount of heat required to convert 1 liter of water to vapor. Okay, so this is called latent heat of vaporization. Hope you understood what is latent heat of fusion, latent heat of vaporization, what is melting point, what is boiling point. Okay. Now next comes sublimation. Now see, sublimation, what does sublimation means? Sublimation, you must have seen at home that, have you seen camphor? Camphor we use it for praying God, that is white color. It is camphor, in Hindi we call it kapoor. Okay. Camphor is there. Second one example is ammonium chloride. Third one is naphthalene ball. Naphthalene ball. Now see, all these things, what happens? Sublimation actually means, the definition of sublimation is that by providing heat, when solid directly changes into gases without changing into liquid. Okay, and again from gas to solid. So what is the definition of sublimation? Solid directly changes to gas or vapor without changing to liquid. Okay. And from gas to solid. Now see, in this what happens? The solid directly changes to gas, that is vapor, without changing to liquid, and from gas to solid. Suppose when we burn camphor, what happens? It directly changes, it is solid. It changes into vapor, and when we cool down, then again that vapor camphor converts into solid. Let's do one activities for this. Now take one china dish, and in this china dish we'll put ammonium chloride. This is solid. Now take one funnel and cover this. Just invert that funnel and cover this ammonium chloride. Now we will start providing here with the heat. Okay. Now you start giving heat by burner. Okay. Now what will you see? That this is solid. When you start heating it, it directly converts into vapor, and you can see this vapor coming out of this funnel tube. Okay? You can see the vapor coming out from this funnel tube. That means this solid here, ammonium chloride, had changed directly into vapor. Now remove the heat. So after some time, when this gets cool, you will find that on the inner wall of this funnel, something white powder like things can be seen. Then what happened? Here this vapor which was vaporized from this ammonium chloride, they could not come out, and they were, when it was cooled, they converted directly into solid. Okay. So when we are providing heat to ammonium chloride, they are directly changing into vapor. When they are cool, we remove the heat. After some time, we will find that vapor here has converted into solid. Okay. So what is sublimation? Sublimation means the changing of solid directly to vapor or gas without changing into liquid. And again by cooling, again that gas changes into solid again. Is it clear? Then naphthalene ball, white color ball, you must have seen that mummy, they keep that white color ball in the cupboard where we keep our clothes, and after some time that white color ball get disappeared. They vaporize. So that is also sublimation, example of sublimation. Hope you must have understood this. Okay. Now see, this was about what happens when we change the temperature. So first one we saw melting point, boiling point, and then sublimation. In melting point, that was there was latent heat of fusion. Boiling point, there was latent heat of vaporization, and then sublimation. Okay. So we can change one state to another by applying or giving temperature. Hope you understood this. Okay. Now next one is this one, by changing pressure. What happens by changing pressure? By changing pressure mean by pressing something. When you press that, so by pressing it, we call it pressure. Pressure means applying force from upward. Okay. Now see here, in this, gas changes to liquid, liquid changes to solid. When we apply pressure on gas, they change to liquid. Liquid again we apply more pressure to it, then it changes to solid. Okay, so example you can see, you must have heard of dry ice. Have you heard it? Dry ice is used in cold storage for cooling it. In that what they do, carbon dioxide, it is gas. What is carbon dioxide? It is gas. When pressure is increased on this, it directly changes to solid carbon dioxide. Okay, when on gas carbon dioxide, when pressure is applied, high pressure is applied, that will not change into liquid, but directly they will change into solid. Okay, solid carbon dioxide, and this is called dry ice. Solid carbon dioxide is called dry ice. Is it clear? Another example, by applying pressure we can see LPG gas. Everyone we use in our house, that is cylinder gas, which we are use for cooking our food. What is that? Actually LPG is liquid petroleum gas. Okay, now see in LPG what happens, in that big cylinder gas is put and it is compressed. And that due to, suppose this is gas, this is cylinder, in this gas is put, and here one knob is given. Then what happens, we press this, and after pressing what will happen, because already you have studied that the particles of the gases keeps moving. Is it clear? So this moving particles, what will happen, when they are pressed, they come together. So in small container we can put large amount of gases. Okay, or you must have seen that balloon walas, what they do, they in 1 kg of air, 1 kg of air can be filled in so many balloons. How does it happen? Because as when he is putting that air inside that balloon, the particles of the balloon moves, particles of the air moves, and that spreads. Okay, now in this what is happening, now this liquid petroleum gas, in this when the pressure is applied, this gas converts into liquid. Okay, when pressure is applied on this, then this will convert into liquid. So we say LPG means liquefied petroleum gas. What is LPG? That is liquid petroleum. Okay, so we say it is liquefied petroleum gas. Okay, so now see what happens, that when pressure is applied, they convert into liquid, and as soon as we open that knob of the regulator, then what happens, this knob comes up and the pressure is decreased here, and they again this liquid converts into gas. Okay, and so we are able to fire our chulha, or you can say the stove. Is it clear? So what is happening here? When we are applying pressure on this gas, high pressure they are being converted into liquid, and in this cylinder liquid is filled up in the form of liquid. That gas is filled in a form of liquid by applying pressure. So as soon as we open the knob, the pressure here is decreased and this liquid again converts into gas, and that we use. Is it clear? So by applying pressure, one we saw here, gas can be converted to solid directly. Another one is here in this, gas can be converted into liquid, that is liquefied petroleum gas. And another one is CNG, you must have heard of it. CNG. Have you heard of it? CNG, what is CNG? CNG is compressed natural gas. What is CNG? Compressed natural gas. Now see, nowadays in our vehicle, it is being used. That is a compressed natural gas. Is it clear? The gas is compressed in cylinder, and that is natural gas is compressed in cylinder, and that is converted into, again the same thing will happen. What happened here? They will convert into liquid, and again when the knob is open, they will convert into gas. So this gas, why this gas is used? Compressed natural gas, why it is used? It is used because it gives less pollution. Okay, because it is a natural gas, so it does not pollute our environment. Is it clear? To keep our environment clean, nowadays instead of petrol and diesel, this is being used, that is CNG. Is it clear? Hope you must have understood all these things what I taught. Today we studied about the states of matter, their characteristics, then what is melting point, that is effect of temperature, how we can change one state to another by applying temperature, then applying pressure. Hope you must have understood all these things. If you find any doubt anywhere, then please comment in comment section and please let me know so that I can clear your doubt, and I'll try to teach in more effective ways. So please let me know. Keep studying, keep seeing this. If you like my lecture, this class, then please share, subscribe, and let me know if any doubt, anything. Okay, thank you.